Welcome back to our international viewers, and thank you for joining us once again for our daily English news edition. As usual, I'm Daniel Cook, your host, Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. A few days ago, the government promised that small businesses with gross income of 5 million lek and under will not pay taxes. But according to the new fiscal package, these businesses will pay in other ways. A clause in the new package reads, special categories who have a professional economic activity, including family employees who live and work with the employer, will pay social contributions based on the maximum salary level. Albania's economic experts are seeing this as absurd. They say that if the government is pardoning the tax of 250,000 lek per year, they are taking several million through this insurance scheme. The administrator of Confindustria says that the measure was not consulted and is not normal. He said, the government cannot define the level of contributions based on the maximum wage because the earnings are not the same throughout the year. He also spoke against the increase of excise tax on domestic beer, which was also rejected by the Socialist Party for Integration, one of the ruling coalition parties. The SMI MP Silva Tsaka said that this will send the factories to bankruptcy and leave hundreds of people unemployed. According to her, this will have zero effect on the budget since they are decreasing the excise on imported beer. Earlier, the government announced that they would remove the tax of 250,000 lek per year, but it appears that this removal carries much less value than it originally seemed, given the requirements for social insurance contributions. The government has made some changes in the fiscal package for 2016, which will take effect on January 1st. In the coming year, the state budget stands to gain 1.4 billion lek through changes in taxation. The excise tax on domestic beer has been increased from 360 to 400 lek, while the excise on imported beer has been decreased from 710 to 600 lek. The excise on cigarettes will not change. The Ministry of Finance has projected that the growth of premium tax on insurance companies will be 10%, up from the 3% currently. This is anticipated because of the increase in the price of car insurance. Luxury cars will also be taxed more heavily. Owners will have to pay a 70,000 lek registration fee and an annual fee of 21,000 lek. The budget stands to gain 400 million lek from these two taxes. The Ministry of Finance has also decided to apply royalties for non-metallic minerals based on the quantity and not based on the value. The 2016 fiscal package includes changes to the local government taxes as well. Tax on hotel accommodations will be fixed at 140 lek rather than the proportional tax that is currently used. There will also be changes in the fees paid for the sale of apartments and properties. Municipalities will be divided into 4 categories, and the property tax will range from 1,400 lek per hectare to 5,600 lek, depending on the municipality. Also next year, income taxes will be lowered to 5% for businesses with gross income of 5 to 8 million lek annually. The Democratic chairman Lulzim Basha has requested a thorough investigation of the shortage of $326 million from the Customs Directorate. Speaking at the meeting of the Democratic Parliamentary Group, Basha made the claim that the shortage is because of smuggling. He feels that the economy and free enterprise are in crisis, and according to him, this is because of the fines and repression of the government. Mr. Basha said, "A citizen told me that the Prime Minister is pretending to remove taxes, but really he is taking everything with just one fine." Basha commented on the statements made yesterday by the U.S. Ambassador Donald Lu, who gave the names of government officials who have evaded justice. The Democratic chairman sees the statement as a warning for the country that crime has taken root in politics. He considers the government to be fallen, and he calls the right-wing MPs to perform at the appropriate level to offer a solution to the citizens and to win back their trust. After the arrest of a Kosovo opposition MP, a group of protesters clashed with the police today outside the government building. The police used tear gas on a crowd of opposition activists who were throwing rocks, bottles, and gas bombs outside the government building in Pristina. The group included some members of the opposition parties. Some hours earlier, a bomb squad dealt with a hand grenade that was thrown near the Constitutional Court building, and protesters lit several vehicles on fire near an art gallery. The Kosovo police have announced the arrest of 13 people so far. The opposition is protesting in rejection of 2 agreements the government recently signed, particularly one that gives Serbia greater local powers. According to a report published by Global Peace on countries at risk of terrorist attacks, Albania is ranked 78th out of 168 countries. The assessment of risk for Albania has significantly increased during 2015, as a year ago, Albania was not even in the top 100 countries at risk. The ranking was 109th and 107th in 2013 and 2014, respectively. The Terrorism Index report shows that in 2013, Albania had no terrorist attacks in its background, but in 2014 there were 2 incidents of terrorism with 1 victim. Albania has considered to be threat level number 4, with 10 being the highest ranking, placing Albania almost in the high-risk category. Meanwhile, Kosovo is ranked in the 62nd place and is considered to have a high risk of terrorist attacks, but Pristina does appear to be safer than it was in 2014. Over the past year, Kosovo's ranking has dropped by 12 countries. In 2014, it was ranked in 54th place, indicating high risk of terrorist attacks. Macedonia is also considered to be a country with high risk, ranking in 73rd place. Serbia and Montenegro are not in the top 100 countries most at risk of terrorism, respectively in the 106th and 103rd places. According to the report, the 5 countries with the highest risk are Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nigeria. The Albanian authorities say that they have taken the necessary precautions against terrorist attacks. This guarantee was given today by President Bujar Nishani, who declared that the fight against terrorism is a global battle. Today, President Nishani paid a visit to the French embassy and expressed his condolences for the attacks in Paris. The head of the state gave his assurance that the Albanian authorities have taken all the necessary precautions against the risk. The president said that the security institutions are well coordinated. I have praised the measures taken by the Albanian law enforcement agencies, which are fully committed to their professional capacities and in close cooperation with our allies, said Mr. Nishani. When asked by Ora News whether he will gather the National Council of Security, the president replied that it will be gathered when the suitable moment comes. The new bill on properties was discussed in today's Law Commission meeting. The opposition members who were present rejected the formula for compensating landowners. According to them, this law will affect the previous decisions on expropriation and reimbursement. The Democrats say that the proposed method of calculating property compensation is against the rulings of the Court of Strasbourg. The director of the Agency for Compensation said that property valuation will be done according to the market prices, and that the government is determined to see this law through. The Minister of Justice said that the law will bring the review of thousands of files that are archived at the agency. The Ombudsman has also expressed his concerns about the law, saying that it will leave room for corrupt elements in the valuation of property. In a request to the Assembly, the Ombudsman asked for a review. According to him, not compensating property owners is a serious violation of rights. He asked that compensation be made according to the prices at the time that the law entered into force. That concludes our edition for this evening. Thank you for joining us. Please be with us again at the same time tomorrow for more translated news in English. Thanks and good night.